The one thing standing between you and your biggest goal isn't a lack of talent or time. It's a failure to show up day after day after day. You felt this. You've launched a project, committed to a habit, told yourself, this time it's different. And then life intervenes, motivation fades, and you're right back where you started, staring at the same old version of yourself. This cycle is more than just frustrating. It's identity eroding. It makes you question your own willpower. But what if I told you that you've been solving the wrong problem this whole time? Let me tell you a truth that changes everything. Lasting achievement isn't a product of grand occasional efforts. It's the direct result of small, unglamorous actions you repeat, even and especially when you don't want to. It's not the fireworks of the start, but the quiet, determined breath you take every single morning. The highest achievers I've studied aren't necessarily the smartest in the room. They don't all have superhuman willpower. They are not immune to bad days or doubt. But they share one common trait, and it's the simplest one to understand and the hardest one to master. They are relentless in their return. They are architects of routine. Before we dive into the how, we must first dismantle the why. Why does our commitment so often crumble? The answer lies in three hidden psychological traps. The first trap is what I call the novelty addiction. Our modern world is engineered for distraction. New notifications, new trends, new shortcuts to success. Our brains are chemically rewarded for seeking new stimuli. This makes the sustained, repetitive effort required for mastery feel wrong. It feels boring. It feels slow. We mistake the absence of novelty for the absence of progress. So we abandon the promising path for a new, shinier one. We trade depth for breadth. We become perpetual beginners, collecting half-started projects instead of one finished masterpiece. The second trap is the motivation myth. We've been sold a lie that we must feel inspired to act. We wait for a bolt of energy, a surge of passion. But motivation is a fickle fuel source. It's like waiting for perfect weather to plant a garden. The garden never gets planted. The truth is, action precedes motivation, not the other way around. You don't need to feel motivated to start. You need to start to build momentum. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now, even when every fiber of your being is pulling you toward comfort. The third, and perhaps most insidious trap, is what psychologists call identity inertia. You have a story about yourself. I'm someone who starts strong but fizzles out. I'm not a morning person. I'm just not disciplined. Every time you quit, you collect more evidence for this story. Your brain isn't lying, it's just building a case based on your past actions. The single most important shift you can make is not behavioral, but narrative. You must move from chasing outcomes to becoming the person who naturally achieves them. Your goal isn't to write a book, it's to become a writer. Your goal isn't to get fit, it's to become someone who values and protects their health. This is the core of everything. So, how do we escape these traps? How do we build a system so robust that our success becomes inevitable, not accidental? This brings us to the methodology. It's a principle used by elite performers across fields and backed by decades of behavioral science. I've refined it into what I call the cornerstone protocol. It's more than a habit. It's an identity installation program. The cornerstone protocol is built on a single, non-negotiable pillar. For the next 90 days, you will dedicate the first 90 minutes of your working day to the single most impactful task for your long-term vision. Notice the specificity. 90 days is long enough to form a deep neural pathway, to truly rewire a habit. 90 minutes is long enough to achieve meaningful depth, but short enough to feel contained and possible. The first part of your day is when your willpower reserves, your focus, and your cognitive clarity are at their absolute peak. This is not a scheduling hack or a productivity tip. This is a sacred ritual. It's a daily appointment with your future self. By eliminating the decision of what do I do first, you bypass decision fatigue, the silent killer of consistency. There is no debate, no negotiation. The protocol is the command. Let's talk about implementation. Your first step is radical prioritization. If you had to move one mountain that would make all other mountains smaller, which one is it? Is it writing the first chapter? Is it the core code for your app? Is it the foundational workout for your health? This isn't about your most urgent task. It's about your most important one. Next, you must engineer your environment for success. This means preparing your physical and digital space the night before. Close all irrelevant browser tabs. Set out your materials. Your morning self should have zero friction between intention and action. Your future self will thank your past self for this kindness. Now, the ritual itself. When your dedicated block begins, you enter a state of protected focus. Silence your phone. Use a website blocker if you must. This is a sacred temple of concentration. For these 90 minutes, the outside world does not exist. You are not checking emails. You are not scrolling. You are building. But here is where most systems fail. They don't account for the internal resistance. Your mind will rebel. It will offer brilliant ideas for other projects. It will remind you of an urgent email. It will tell you you're tired. This is the critical moment. This is where identity is forged. You acknowledge the thought, and you let it pass like a cloud in the sky. You do not engage. You return gently but firmly to the work. Each time you do this, you are performing a repetition for your focus muscle. It gets stronger. Tracking is non-negotiable. Use a simple calendar. Put a large, satisfying X over each day you complete the protocol. This visual chain is powerful psychology. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to not break the chain. As Jerry Seinfeld famously said, don't break the chain. The goal is consistency, not heroics. You will have off days. Life happens. Sickness happens. Emergencies happen. The protocol has a golden rule for this. Never miss twice. One miss is a stumble. 2 misses in a row is the beginning of a new unwanted habit. Forgive yourself instantly for the first, and guard against the second with everything you have. Now, let's talk about the transformation. What happens after 30 days? After 60? After 90? The first change is external. You will have tangible progress. A manuscript grows. A business plan solidifies. Your body changes. But the deeper, more profound change is internal. You begin to gather irrefutable evidence against your old story. Your brain can no longer sustain the narrative of I'm a quitter when faced with 45 consecutive days of showing up. Action, repeated, becomes evidence. Evidence hardens into belief. Belief crystallizes into identity. And identity makes behavior automatic. You stop saying I should work on my project and start saying I am a person who works on my project every morning. This shift is everything. The need for motivation evaporates. The action is simply who you are and what you do. This protocol also creates a powerful ripple effect. By claiming victory in the first 90 minutes of your day, you set a tone of accomplishment and discipline that carries through every other hour. You operate from a place of strength, not deficit. Let's address common hurdles. What if my job gets in the way? Then you adapt. Your first 90 minutes might be the first 90 minutes you have to yourself. It might be 5 and before the family wakes. The principle is intact, protected, prioritized, deep work on your cornerstone task. What if I don't know what my cornerstone task is? Then your first 90-minute block is dedicated solely to answering that question with clarity. Journal, meditate, brainstorm. Your first project is defining the project. This journey is not a straight line upward. It is a spiral. Some days you will feel like you're flying. Others you will be grinding through mental mud. Both are valid. Both are necessary. The mud days, where you show up despite everything, are the days that build the most character and the most resilient identity. Your future self is not created in a single dramatic moment of decision. Your future self is constructed, brick by brick, in the quiet, consistent daily choices you make right now. Each morning you honor the protocol. You are laying another brick in the foundation of a person you can truly respect. If this resonated with you, your support means the world to this channel. Please hit the like button. It helps more people discover these ideas. And subscribe to Winds of Thought, where we break down the principles of mindset, mastery, and living a more intentional life every single week. Now, I want to hear from you. The most powerful step is commitment. In the comments below, tell me this. What is your one cornerstone task? And when will you start your first 90-minute block? Declare it. Let's build this future together. The one thing standing between you and your biggest goal isn't a lack of talent or time. It's a failure to show up. You felt this. You've launched a project, committed to a habit, told yourself, this time, it's different. And then, life intervenes, motivation fades, and you're right back where you started, staring at the same old version of yourself. Let me tell you a truth that changes everything. Lasting achievement isn't a product of grand occasional efforts. It's the direct result of small, unglamorous actions you repeat, even and especially when you don't want to. The highest achievers I've studied aren't necessarily geniuses. They don't all have superhuman willpower, but they share one common trait, and it's the simplest one to understand and the hardest one to master. They are relentless. So why do we keep falling off track? First, we're wired for the thrill of the new, not the grind of mastery. Your mind loves a fresh start, a new journal, a different plan. True progress, however, is built in the quiet, repetitive space where there are no fireworks. Consistency is the quiet engine of every great achievement. Second, we use our fleeting emotions as a guide. We wait to feel ready. But feelings are unreliable. The only reliable anchor is the identity you build through action. This brings us to the method. It's a principle used by elite performers and backed by behavioral science. I call it the first hour protocol. Here is your protocol for the next 60 days. Dedicate the first 90 minutes of your working day to one, and only one, critical objective. Not just any task, the one that moves the needle most for your future. This isn't a scheduling hack. It's a sacred ritual. You eliminate all choice. When you wake, you already know what you're doing. You're using your mind's peak clarity before the world's demands drain your focus. But the real power isn't in the time block. It's in the story you rewrite about yourself. Every morning you complete this ritual, you gather evidence against the old narrative of I'm a quitter or I'm easily distracted. Your brain cannot argue with repeated behavior. Action repeated becomes evidence. Evidence becomes belief. Belief becomes identity. And identity makes action automatic. So how do you start? 1, select your single high-impact priority. 2, guard that 90-minute window like a sworn promise. 3, mark your progress visually. Don't break the chain. 4, expect your mind to rebel. Do the work regardless. You will have off days. That is human. The rule is simple. Never let 2 off days happen consecutively. The goal isn't flawless execution. The goal is returning again and again. Your future self is built by your daily choices. If you do this, something shifts. You won't need to search for motivation. The act itself becomes the driver. Your confidence will compound with each completed session. Your focus will deepen. Your results will begin to stack. You will become, in your own eyes, the kind of person who gets things done. If this resonated with you, help this channel grow. Please hit the like button and subscribe to Winds of Thought for more guides on mastering your mindset. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the one priority you'll protect for the next 60 days? Tell me in the comments.